So who are you?
My name is Brandon Rose. I'm 23 and I'm from Bardstown, Kentucky, and a former employee of Crown Point Theater.
So tell me about your last job.
Uh, I was a usher at the theater. I mainly just cleaned, ripped tickets, guide the customers to their seats, fix bathrooms, fix any issues going on like around my area, and it was a simple job, I guess.
You're a pretty young guy. I mean, you're in your 20s, but you're still pretty young.
Yeah.
What was the pay like compared to other jobs for people around your age?
Not as good as you'd expect. It was a very desperate call for this job. Like, not a lot of jobs were hiring, and a lot of people my age are in the degree that they want. So I am, making 10 an hour, before taxes, which didn't really help with a lifestyle of a 23-year-old.
Why did you quit? Was it because of the pay, or were there other outside reasons?
It was majority because of the pay.
What exactly about it? What sort of goals or aspirations did you set out to achieve that your pay set you back from?
I wanted to be able to afford having a home to myself and my partner that I want to live with, and I want to help fund my aspirations or my passions while still being able to live in a decent home while still covering the necessities. But when I worked at the theater, I could only get by nickel and dime, just covering the bills, the phone bill, like insurance, emergency costs. There was nothing to go for me, so I just had to worry about it being in my bank account being in the negative all the time. There was nothing to save up.
So tell me about your new job. Like, what do you do? How much do you work? What's the pay like now?
I work at a Flowers Bakery Company. It's a bread production factory. It makes all the bread from the ones you get in the grocery store to even the ones from KFC or Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, whatever. And I work stacking trays for them, and I work 12 hours a day, every day. That's the average. Overtime is 16 hours there. And I work 5 a.m. to p.m., it makes about 19 an hour. The pay's really good, but there's no life outside of it. I can't make anything outside. I make a lot of passion projects like films, music here and there, and just for to come home, and I have to go to sleep to prepare just to get the required amount an adult should get for work the next day. And it's very hard to have a life outside of that. Like, I feel like I'm slowly rotting into this cog in the machine rat race lifestyle.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you save up for, the distant future or rainy day plans?
So I make about 200 a day if I work the 12 hours without the machines canceling down. Like, if I get a decent check, every check I like to put 200 into my savings, but there's always something that happens to go on. So, and it's going to take forever to either, it's still not enough to get a small apartment, even on the bad side of the neighborhood, even sharing with another partner, because there's, rent, utilities, anything else outside of that. My car is getting old. Like, I've had it since 2010. It's been passed down, and it's about to cough up little black smoke, and then just its tires flat out. Like, it's, now I got to think about getting a car on top of that, and it's just very stressful to have all that on top in case of emergencies or plans in the future.
So even if it was just by $2 or so, would you like a $2 or so raise at your old job? Would you rather go back to your old job or stay at this job?
If the theater paid 12 an hour instead?
Yes.
I don't know. It's because especially the bi-weekly pay was very hard to live by. You had to like I said before, I don't want to repeat everything that I've said, just barely getting by as is. Like, it's a good high school job, but for someone around what I'm doing with my life, the direction I'm heading, it's very circle back. So I don't think I can, but I don't know if there's any other option.
Would you say that you're more frugal with your money now that you make more or less?
At first, I was a lot less frugal because I immediately had that, oh boy, like I was very giddy with the thought of having a paycheck that could last me long, like more than a week. And for the first 2 weeks, I got a little greedy with it. But then after the second or third paycheck came in, I kind of like let it sink in. Okay, like, you know, I can't just blow it all on programs to help further my career, like SD cards or anything like that, that I should put it into a savings, build up something to have a long distance goal, or whatever they call it.
Did you go to college? And if so, did you get a degree, anything? And what did you study?
Yeah, I went to Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green. I went on campus. I studied in film study, or well, just filmmaking, not studies, and studio art, like the hands-on stuff. And due to financial situations, I had to drop out, or like, you know, I got kicked out of my dorm and like had to leave. And yeah, I studied for the stuff I wanted to in the future, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot around here that would like make that degree beneficial.
If you could have done it all over again, would you have studied a degree in something that would be more stable in an environment like the one that you live in here in Bardstown, or would you still continue to study film?
I'll tell you what, I would have not gone. Like, the only thing positive experience I got out of college was the friends and people I met, because with the thing that I want to do heavily requires more on experience than what you sat down and took notes on. I would have probably still taken a job like with a similar pay to this, and like, you know, hopefully less hours, and just kind of pushed it through, but still like put my foot down and said, I'm going to choose to like pick me and not give in to this overwhelming, stressful situation that I guess I've put myself in, but I feel like everyone else around me is put in as well.
At your old job, did you see the importance in your job? I know that they say that's an important thing. Did you see the importance in your job, or did you feel like just another cog in the machine?
There was good and bad days. When I had talked to a nice customer, like, you know, I felt like, you know, I had some little impact on their day, like, but mainly I felt like I was irreplaceable. I mean, I still feel like that at this current job. It's very like, you know, you could have taught anybody that job. And with the theater job, it was very hard to see like, yeah, I specifically was good for this. I was just very good at listening to things and memorizing patterns. And I guess that's what they needed.
Which do you think is more important? A job that you enjoy or a job that pays well?
In the end, I think a job you enjoy, because my great-grandfather like would always tell us whenever he was still around and kicking, like, you're still young, like, you know, don't worry about the money right now, because in the end it's not going to matter. So like, you know, but still, like, you know, make sure everything's okay, but just make sure that you lived a good life. And sometimes that doesn't mean like getting all the riches, but I think it's sad that being able to live by yourself in your 20s is such a big thing to ask for, when you could ask your grandpa at age like 60, hey, how old were you when you got a house? Oh, I had kids. I had kids at 19, got married at 16, and bought a house at 18. And like, you know, they say it as if it's nothing, while if you look at it, the housing market's like the prices of a house, you know, is up by like what, 4 to 10 times. I'm not sure, I haven't read the exact numbers, but it ain't going down.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Basically, to encapsulate the day-to-day struggles of, you know, trying to buy groceries and stuff as a day-to-day worker, I'm going to give you a typical simulation of what it would be like to pick up groceries. You know, you have to be shopping strategically for the next 2 weeks, or at least I do, because I live on a bi-weekly paycheck. So I'm going to start off my shopping by buying Harry's. It's deodorant. It's really the only one that works good for me, and I'm going to need it so I don't smell bad at school or at work, so I have a nice deodorant to put on. It's $6 off sale, but $5 if I buy 5 or more. Since Mother's Day is coming up, I have to buy a card for my mom. So now I'm going to get into like the meal plans. I can get one of these pizzas for $7 right now on sale. But if I get 5 or more again, I'll get $1 off. Or, on the contrary, these are much cheaper, and I could buy 3 of them for $3.99. I don't want the Chuck E. Cheese one. So I gotta have breakfast in the morning, most important meal of the day. These Eggo waffles are $3.49 usually, but there's a deal on them, 2 for $6. Every good waffle needs syrup. The Kroger syrup is $2.49. I've also got to get milk because it's an excellent source of calcium. Since I'm shopping just for me, I don't need a whole gallon. A whole gallon would regularly be $5.99, so around $6. But this right here is only $5. As well, for breakfast in the morning, I need some bacon. This is $5.29. I do have a cat, so I need to make sure that I get some cat food. And I also need to get some treats for my cat. These are his favorite. The treats are $4.19, and the cat food is $5.79. I need to get toilet paper for the week. So this toilet paper is $6. Actually, it's $8, but it's on sale for $6. So next, I need to get Tide Pods so I can do laundry, so my clothes don't stink. $20 for 57 Tide Pods. I need some snacks for the week, so I'm gonna buy some goldfish for $15. These are my 2 waters that I'm gonna need for the week. I'd also like some sodas because sometimes it's nice to have a nice little mix up between water and soda. These Sprites are $6. And this is just a little taste of what it's like to shop for one on a budget. I'll get the exact total on screen and I'll probably say it later, but this is about what it would look like. And this is also removing some stuff that I may have forgotten to get. All the food I didn't get will just be meals I eat out on, which is also going to be about $10 to $20 depending on the restaurant. But this is about what it looks like.
Do you guys shut the door? So I don't have 9 people coming in every 5 seconds.
So what is your name and occupation currently?
My name's Cody Raisor. Currently a manager at Crown Point Theater. It's my last day. Then I will be a crew member at Zoller Pump Company in Louisville.
So tell me about your job as a manager at Crown Point Theater. Did you love it? Did you hate it? How was the pay?
Love-hate relationship with it. Love some of the people, but customer service, so you can only go so far. You get kind of burnt out on it. The pay was fair for what it was, but it's not sustainable to live on by yourself.
How much better is this new job? Do you think it'll be a lot better for you?
Yeah, I feel like it would work better with my schedule. I'm a night owl, so I sleep during the day and I'm up all night, so I'm doing third shift, and I get more time off technically because I only work 4 days a week.
What type of dreams or aspirations do you have that your old pay and your old job may have prohibited you from following?
There's only so far you can go in a movie theater, and I don't want to be stuck in a movie theater for my whole life. And the pay isn't enough to sustain an entire career or like a house, mortgage, kids, all that stuff. You know, the American dream. I would like to find some job that I don't get bored of. I'm not really sure. I'm interested in some government type jobs because I have a criminal justice degree, but it's hard to get a degree based job right out of college, especially in criminal justice field if you don't want to be a police officer or a corrections officer or something in prisons, and I don't want to get shanked or shot at.
What are you hoping will change in your life after you get from this job to your next job? Like what are your plans after today?
Save money definitely. With that new job, I have a pay increase of like $8 an hour roughly. I'm salary here, but there I'm hourly. But if you break it down, bare bones. So saving more money that way, I can pay off my car payment, which I'm already close to in the first place. But I want to get more ahead, and I can't get as far as ahead if I stay here. There's that, and that other job is also gonna help pay to go back to school. So I might go back to school and get another degree. That could be easier for me to get a degree-seeking job.
So how much would you say you save per pay period or paycheck or salary? How much would you say you save, and do you feel like that's a comfortable amount for any problems that might arise?
I don't think it's a comfortable amount because I moved out when I was living with my parents. I was saving a good 30-40% of my check, besides for the car payment and other bills that I pay. But now that I moved out, I have all the bills that go with moving out: rent, lights, car, just the whole 9 yards. I'm saving maybe $50 to $60 a month or every pay period, which is not really good and not sustainable. Doesn't help you get ahead in life. So yeah, the new job will help with that a lot. So
how long have you been at this position at Crown Point?
I've been a manager for about 2 years now. Before that, I was a supervisor for about 2 years, and then a regular crew member. I joined in 2019, and it's 2024 now.
So what do you think is more important in a job, more particularly for like a young person like yourself? A job with stable pay and stability, or a job that's more fun and enjoyable?
I would say the best job is to have, I guess, a mix of both. I would say more fun and enjoyable, but that doesn't help you in the long run. But if you have stable pay, you're probably not gonna, and like the same consistent stuff, you're not gonna have time to do stuff that you want to when you're younger. So I feel like it's really hard to find a good job that suits you, that you like, that has good money. Most people either settle for a crappy job for a while so they can get ahead on money, or they have no money but they like the job that they have.
Do you agree with this sentiment that you find so true?
What do you mean?
Like, with it being where a lot of people are stuck in crappy jobs because they can't find money. Do you agree with this, or do you think that the fun jobs that keep you engaged should be more sustainable?
I feel like they should be more sustainable, but like I said, like if you work in a movie theater, it is a fun job, but I'm not expecting to make as much money as a doctor would for scooping popcorn or dealing with a customer. So I wish they were more sustainable, but if they became more sustainable, then everything else would increase in price as well. We would just cause us a rotating door of the same issues that we already have.
What did you plan to be when you were growing up?
Originally, when I was really little, it used to be a baseball player. And then I wanted to be a lawyer for a while, but now it's more like I want to focus on kind of join like the FBI or ATF or some type of government agency with my degree. End goal is try to stop be in some type of task force that stops human trafficking or traffickers and stuff like that, and helps with people who have been in that like area of human trafficking or been a victim, to try to do something with that.
Awesome. Thank you for your time for this interview.
No
It was
problem.
an honor
Thank
to
you.
interview you.
It was an honor to work with you.